All right.
Hi. All right. Now that I can talk, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. All right, we'll wait for some people to file on in here. If anybody can't make this, for the people that aren't here, so this doesn't matter that I'm saying this, it'll be posted on the YouTube, and I'm streaming, so I'll have a VOD of it.
Yeah, just in case you're not here, that's good information.
Yeah, so if you're not here, that's the info.
Don't worry. Yeah.
And if everybody's lucky and everyone's nice enough, Sai will put on a costume at the end of this and turn his webcam on.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
That's the prize for showing up.
That's fair.
Which
I got one in mind.
Which was, we planned this and we talked about this before the meeting, so this wasn't just sprung on him right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna walk away from my computer and go find something.
I see a Grove. Shout out to Mr. Grove. Always doing the shout outs, trying to get people in. We appreciate that a lot. You are the GOAT. Shout out to Mr. Strangelove, the suggestions guru. I see a Mr. Juice, aka Moncath. A Ray Mercer. I see a John Spillner. We all know who that is. I see a Dusty.
Yeah, right, bro.
Chief's in the building. Luke Combs. Good to see you back in the city, doing some EMS fun. Holy hell. My notification was so loud just now. Darkside. Thank you for the follow. Mumbo Jumbo. God, that character is too funny. So in the Discord, we do have the meeting chat channel. That's where we'll be reading all the stuffs. And when we do anything that relates to any kind of voting, it'll all be there. Okami, Hunter Extraordinaire. Garrick's in the building. What's up, Yoshi? Hamburger, Willie. All right, I think we're good to start this. Potentially. Might be some stragglers.
Get him in here.
I still see Elijah's in the city. Should I kick him?
Get him in here.
I'll do an announcement. Yo, community meeting, dude.
Elijah is in here.
Is he? I don't see his little picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark Fox.
He's in here. He's in here.
Picture's not showing up for me.
Crazy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that it? I don't know. I'm stupid. Okay.
Something.
All right. Yeah. Let's get right into it. It's been a while since we've done a community meeting. We went through some staff changes. We went through like rigorous, like 3 or 4 month coding spree with working on 3.0. Been really busy with my in real life job plus coding and everything. Cyclops and Madchild have been helping with the coding. So yeah, we kind of apologize for not doing a meeting in a long time. Where's... Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I was making some food.
Oh, okay. Gotta check on the chickens. So we're gonna go over a couple things, and then we wanted... I think the main topic of this meeting is going to be new player experience, and then kind of going over economy stuff and PD and EMS stuff. So the economy changes. Obviously, we're a doozy at the very beginning. Obviously, there was issues with PD, some of the functions and things not working at the beginning. No launch we've ever done any kind of wipe or just the launch of Trono in general has gone smoothly. Like, we test and test and test, and then it works fine in dev, and the second we bring it over to live, for some reason, stuff doesn't work, and it makes zero sense. So we appreciate everyone that stuck around during the economy issues, and, you know, the officers that did stick around for the issues that were going on with that. But we try our best to stay on top of everything. So I hope everybody's liking the economy changes now. Is everybody kind of feeling good about it? What's the feelers? You guys can post in the meeting chat about what if you like the changes in the economy. Got some typers. We're getting a yes. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Montcath. Awesome. And I know there's probably still some things that can be a little bit tweaked out, but we're working on it. Trono is a constantly evolving city, as most of you are aware. We're constantly changing things, constantly working on things, and we highly value everybody's opinions, and we like to hear everyone's opinions on everything. So I'm glad we got the economy to a place you guys like that works for us and for you. Going over what we're doing with PD. Does anybody want to take over on the PD stuff? Cool. Glad you're all muted.
Oh. Hey! Come here. Yeah, I mean, we could tackle it if you want. Just
Okay.
kind of go into where PD is at right now. I think we're on a little bit of an uptick for PD, which is great. We're seeing some pretty rough numbers, especially with more people coming in the city wanting to do crime. We had to change up a lot of the cop checks for some of the crime across the city. That way, requirement was a little bit lower than what we originally anticipated. I think a lot of that, we're pretty self-aware. A lot of that had to do with how rough PD was at the start of 3.0. I think it was a little overlook on our site too, to not support as much from a financial standpoint for PD, right? So we talked a lot about how PD shouldn't be worried about money. It's definitely a job in the city that where ravioli pasta comes first, but still people want their money. People need to eat and live. So that was like our first thing, right? We had to address elephants in the room, and those are a couple things.
Oh, and real quick, you said how, you know, money was a big topic and how we're like, no, it needs to be RP. That's actually something we as staff have come to a realization with, is we might have envisioned the city in a way that doesn't tailor to its core community when we first started 3.0. Like, we were thinking more realism in terms of like economy and things, and we realized a lot of you are here more for just it being serious RP. So, and a lot of people get that wrong on what serious RP is. Serious RP isn't role playing. Like, people think it's, oh, you don't role play as an alien, that's not serious. What serious RP means is if you're going to role play as an alien, you take it seriously that you are an alien. So it's not realistic RP, it's serious RP. And the things that we messed up on were we realized that the core community, all of you guys, wanted kind of a different city than what we were trying to make 3.0 be.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we're changing that. You can continue.
I think. I think something that we. Another thing, like we said, we
Is he
did
crackly
overlook.
for you guys?
Yeah,
You're
he's great.
popping.
You look pop
Am I?
pop. Yeah,
Motherfucker.
you got the pop pops, bro.
It's all right. He'll be back. He has to take the scorpion off his computer. It was probably stinging the wires.
Yeah, the chicken's been pecking at the wires again. Get him out of here.
No, so yeah, I think that directly affected PD. It affected EMS, and we're on that uptick right now. We're seeing a lot more PD presence in the city. I think we had a couple weeks there where staff was coming in a little more than PD, right? If we're gonna address the elephant in a room, let's do that. Finding ways to make PD more fun. I think the new MDT system is going to be a really good way to do that.
Which, a side note on the new MDT system, it is not encrypted. I can edit every single thing in it, which is the
Good.
first MDT system that we've ever bought or used that is like that.
Mm-hmm. And what we do have an issue that we have to address with the MDT. I saw it firsthand as Donnie today, which is just the charges. I'll go to click on discharge of an unlawful firearm, and the charge it selects is somehow distributing illegal substances. So
Yeah, Garrick sent me screenshots and
yep,
all the info.
We'll address stuff like that. We're here now to make it more fun. Like Dale said, the main point is focusing on the new player experience for us. We want Trono to grow. I think I wouldn't be wrong, Dale, to say the last 2 wipes for us, we've seen a lot of the same faces, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we want to grow, right? We want more
Yes.
RP to come into the city.
And
more
I am
diversity.
seeing that in 3.0 is new faces, new names. When I pull up the server list, I'm like, who is that? And then I'm seeing like, oh, they have 4 hours. I'm like, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, one of the changes we made for the new player experience was that cheap cars that someone can get right next to Alta right when they first fly in to get them going and doing stuff. That was a big change. Cue Ball, I think it was you and Racket that were really brainstorming on that, weren't you? On the new player stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a big one, and we're constantly thinking of ways, and we're going to be asking you guys for potential ideas. Not right now, not in here, but in a little bit later after this, we'll get something going for what you guys think we can do to improve the new player experience. What else? I kind of cut you off, Sai. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Mad is back. What point did you want to bring up, Mad?
Is my mic sound good now?
Yes.
So with the economy changes, I know early on a lot of people were very upset about it. I kind of missed part of it. Sorry, I was trying to fuck with my mic and stuff. But our address was how do we, instead of doing this kind of what I like to call Tarkov feel, where we play a city for 3 months and then everyone kind of leaves because they've gotten to the max peak of what they wanted, and then we wait for a wipe, and like everyone's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave and I'll wait till a wipe, right? That was kind of the issue that we were kind of going for, and I think we've said it. We went way overboard with it. We kind of tried to go the no pixel route with it, and I think we overlooked the fact that the grind was a little too rough because people in no pixel will put up with the grind because they're making a living off of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was we would try to keep it out there as long as we could, just to give it its full test, and we quickly realized that it was not working, so we made changes.
And one
I'm
thing,
happy where
I
crafting
forgot
is.
the second part that we were
yeah,
gonna say.
crafting has been Sai's like baby. He's been really in working with Cue Ball. Cue Ball is like the grind master when it comes to the staff side on those ultra grindy things. So Cue Ball's been giving a lot of real life feedback, and Sai's been working, getting things to where they are. That's one of the things, and I'm sure I've said this in the past, is if there's something that's just completely ridiculous, you guys can bring it up, and I do see you guys bring it up, and we'll change it. I don't want this to be a city where, man, that's just ridiculous, I'm never going to do that, and yeah, staff's not going to change it. So I do appreciate the feedback you guys give, even if you guys are afraid of something for whatever reason. I've heard people say oh, I don't want to bring it up because whatever. We do like that feedback. Oh yeah. What was that?
Somebody's going to town.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all I heard.
Let's see. New player experience. Yeah, the tracky voting. The main reason we decided to go with the tracky vote system is because if there's a lot of votes for a city, it puts it on the front page without having to pay. I believe a boost ran out a couple days ago, and we're still on the front page because of the voting. So that's why we encourage the voting, and we give a little kickback, $5,000 in the city. Why not?
All of our votes reset because it's August 1st.
Fuck.
Yep. So right now more than ever, we could definitely use the votes. I think we were bumped down to page 5 of Tracky.
Damn it. Okay. All right. Cool. Which I'm fine with. I'm sure you guys will get us there. And then I'm also gonna pay to boost the city every month. What else? New player experience. I think there might be some more stuff to talk in there. Yeah, there is. So when it comes to the new players that come in the city, one of the biggest issues we've had in 1.0 and 2.0 was a lack of secrecy, right? Like everyone's friends and everybody tells everyone where everything is, and secrets would be leaked like so fast. 3.0, I'm seeing that you guys are actually keeping secrets, and it's amazing. Yes, we might have hid stuff way too hard, but that was, the idea behind, Jack's coming up with these awesome videos and doing the video like leaks and little secrets and stuff. And never mind, I'm not going to say that. Another thing that gives secrets
don't
out
say that.
in the city. But yeah, there's, it. I like that the secrets are here, but the one thing to keep in mind is the new players, the new people who they don't even really know what the Z menu is. They don't really understand third eyeing something. If it's somebody you really haven't met before, and if it's somebody that you are like, man, it must be a new player, it means so much to them, and it means so much to us if you guys just take a little bit extra for them, right? Even if you see a default Dan, I know what all of our first responses of seeing a default Dan is, but there have been multiple times a default Dan accidentally made the character. They don't realize they can delete the character and remake the character, and that default Dan goes on to actually go to a clothing store, change his clothes, get a haircut, and look like a normal person, and then they've been in the city. So just try to give a little bit extra on helping the new players. I'm not saying to just tell them where stuff is, but maybe say, hey, you do these 3 things, I'll give you some info, and you guys can build a relationship. Because I made that announcement the other night. When I was a new person in the city, I didn't have any friends. It was very daunting for me. I'd only watched No Pixel. I watched a lot of Summit, and I was like, I want to get into that. And it was very daunting, and it was very scary in a sense. So, like I said, Witty helped me. Witty talked to me. Me and him became friends in the city, and then I ended up going on and on and on and on. So that little bit of interaction, that little tiny bit of nudge goes a very, very, very long way. And I think that's something we need to focus on as a community. Does anybody want to add on to anything about that?
No, I think it just goes to the point where we're trying to grow the city. I think everybody here wants the city to grow, right? We want to see population at 60, at 80, and really the only way we can do that is we can do as many votes as we want every day, but if those people that see us on Tracky come in and they don't have a good experience, they're not coming back. So it's really up to the community to make sure when they see those new people, you don't tell them everything, obviously, but you just make sure that their time here is enjoyable, and that's what's going to get people to stick around.
Yeah, and another thing too, that I think we've been talking about, but the community doesn't know about, is we want everything to have competition. So, if you have a pizzeria, which is spelled wrong on purpose, if you have a
Who
pizzeria,
spelled that? Was that Sai?
yeah, it was the whole thing. It was great. Anyways, a pizzeria, if you have a pizzeria, you need a burger shot. If you have a PDM, you need a second dealership. And there are things that are in the city that don't have competition, and you'll see starting soon, there will start to be new businesses brought in that are direct competitions of the other businesses. Sai, if you want to get into maybe one of the first ones.
I don't want to give too much information away because this is definitely like a find out in RP, but I introduced a business with the help of 2 people in the city that everybody is probably very aware of. That is a direct competitor for Blaze It. And one of the key things that goes into creating that business is making sure that it is a competitor, but it's also fair to the business, right? So I don't want to bring in a business to compete with Blaze It where that business can just create shit out of thin air and not have to spend money doing it. Because Blaze It for the last month has had to work their asses off to get where they're at. So it all comes down to balance, basically. So find out more in RP. I don't think you'll be able to find out until tonight, probably when our New Zealand friends fly in. But it's a very nice addition.
I'll add to that as well. We did get the second food restaurant in this city, and what I did when I bought pizzeria was try to add more variety of what I thought would be cool for pizzeria.
Real quick. When a staff member buys something on their character, they're on a character that they don't have abilities on, just so we can get that out there. Like, so on his character, there's characters that are set as admin and some that are not, so it doesn't look like there's any kind of bias or staff just trying to take priority or something. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I try to add more items to the pizza menu to make it kind of unique and stuff that I thought would be cool as the owner. And as Uwu got purchased, Okami, she actually came up with her own items as well. So I had reached out and told her just, hey, come up with some ideas, what you think was cool. And so across the board, even for the food items, it's fair no matter what restaurant it is. I think she sent me an email today. I got to adjust some stuff to make it a little bit more fair. She brought some stuff to my attention, but she got to bring in her own unique items that she thought was cool. The same thing we did with Blaze. They got to bring in their own unique items that they thought would be cool for this. And now it's our job as staff to make sure it balances out. For pizzeria, like if you're eating the Meat Lovers pizza, it gives you 60 hunger. Same thing that she has an item that does the same equivalent, and it costs about the same for her to make. It's just her version of it. So it's no matter what businesses there are in the city, they just got to balance.
I want to address what Moncath just said. Should staff be buying things in the first place? Just gives the Civs more of an opportunity. So here's the thing, and what Garrick is saying right now. We spend so much time working on the city, so much time, and there is this little thing that happens when you become staff where a lot of the mystery, a lot of the fun kind of goes away. The fun, can get moved to another direction in terms of being able to like make characters and set yourself as peds and things like that. But there is a little bit lost when you become a staff member, and it makes it difficult for us to enjoy the city that we spend hundreds of hours working on when people, will say things like that. And I'm not saying you're saying that like you're not being rude. I understand. I know you. But it's been difficult, like we've gotten to try to do real life tests of things, some things that need test with real people, and people will send messages complaining, your staff, you can't do this is bullshit. And it's like, it's almost hurting because like, why can't I have fun too? When Madchild is on his staff character, he does staff things. But then when he's on his other character, he's either streaming or he's just role-playing being in this city. Mad became a staff member because he is passionate about the city, and he has these different values that might be different than us, and it's very important as staff to have like different minds come together. So that's why him being on his normal RP character, he can buy stuff. It would kind of be shitty to say if you're staff, you can't buy anything, you can't do anything. Now maybe if there was one restaurant, sure, right? But even that, it's like, well, we need to be able to have fun too. So that's what I wanted to get at. So I mean, if people don't understand that, like, I'm sorry. Like, we need to have fun too. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's it.
Where I don't even want to say it sucks because it's been amazing being staff and helping out. But like in 1.0, I spent so much time as Brady looking for shit and trying to discover shit in the city. And I'm at a point now with Brady and basically all my characters where I can't look for anything because I know where everything is, right? Like,
same.
How can I, as a character, be like, I'm gonna go look for the illegal crafting table, and I'm gonna waste my time because I'm gonna look everywhere where it isn't. Because if I find it, that's meta, right? So I now heavily rely on everybody else in the city to help me. Brady, since I introduced Brady into the city, he has been 100% clean criminal, or I'm sorry, clean criminal, a clean citizen, not getting any crime done because nobody's introduced him to that life, and I can't really find it out for myself. So it's a very different.
It's tough.
way to RP for myself right now.
And like
I-
your RP also kind of tends to change, like, right? Because like all my characters are essentially to have fun and make sure other people are having fun. Like Vinny Greco, Tiny P, Lostport, Riddlemaster. These are characters like I'm not actually grinding and doing things. It's almost like my characters are now just a tool to try to make other people laugh or have a good time. Because like
Yeah,
I'm-
so I can kind of weigh in on this too, because like I took a real back seat on like the locations of everything, like more processes and progression and stuff like that. And I think for like the first week or so that I played, I don't think anybody knew who I was at this point now. Maybe even right now, some of you are realizing who I am because of my voice. But it's been a totally different experience from what I had, in 1.0 and when I was in 2.0. That's why you see a lot of us play cops, is because it's the opposite of like the progression system, the opposite of the puzzles of everything, and we're just responding and playing and RPing and stuff like that. So, just to give like a little bit of insight, I've been doing a lot of crafting. I've been doing a lot of things and like real time testing, and we've worked out a lot of systems with it, and it's been really good. We've made a lot of changes recently, which I think are beneficial for the balance. And I was able to kind of come to it from a new player perspective as much as I could, which was really nice. So
Yeah, that
thanks
was
to anybody
amazing.
that knew that I was staff and didn't say anything. And please continue to do so.
yeah,
I will
that
say,
information was
yeah.
amazing.
I will say one thing that does suck. I get if there's a emergency for like something going on in the city and you need a staff member right then. If I'm on Ross, I will handle it. But I will say, like they said, we are trying to have fun on some of our other characters. Now we do have some more responsibilities, so if it's something that's urgent, but there's nothing worse than being on Ross and I get pulled to the side and it's like, I'm not saying it's like super bad thing, but it's just like, oh man, I'm just trying to have fun in RP. But you get pulled aside on Ross and it's like, oh well, this and this needs to be fixed, this and this. It's like, oh, okay, please just open a ticket, I'll get to it, I promise. Like,
Yeah, or do slash reports, because we can see
Yeah.
that when we're our RP characters, we can see when you throw a report in city. So it's like when I'm out of that RP scenario and I'm just chilling by myself in my apartment, I can pull up reports and I could get to it. But yeah, like to his point, it kind of sucks. It's
Yeah,
it's
a little out of
if I'm
California.
on
I mean-
the FIB character, I'm fine with it. But like when I'm
100%.
on Ross, like I'm trying to chill and just RP, going back to the basics.
Because that's the whole point of the FIB characters. We're staff in city. It's an RP reason. And just like I wanted to touch on this, what Garrick said, his message up there about how he's not staff anymore, but he still has to deal with like accusations of staff and things like that. And like I had a perfect example of what Garrick is talking about. Is like I think I was on Tiny P and I was chasing somebody who was streaming, and he was nonstop accusing me of using admin abuse, saying I was making the helicopter teleport, and you can see it. I don't know if any of you have ever done anything on like a side server or anything staff wise, and you try to teleport in a vehicle. It doesn't work. Like you can get out of the vehicle and it'll fall through the earth. But he was blatantly accusing me just because he knew I was staff when I wasn't doing any of that. Was literally following him to tell the people on the ground where he was so they can try to get him. But just because I was staff, accusing me of shit. And that's what we deal with constantly. We deal with your staff. You shouldn't be doing these things. Your staff, are you power gaming? Your staff, are you admin abusing? And it's just constant. And from 1.0 all the way to now, I've had so many things, so many people say stuff.
I think it's a lot better now. I think the current staff that we have is doing a really good job of breaking the negative stigma that Trono staff has had for a while. I think we're here and everybody knows that we're here just to help with the betterment of the RP in the city.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like basically everybody could agree with that.
All right, let's see. Let's keep it moving. Okay, here's a fun one. What do you guys think about a mayor position in the city that is community voted? And for right now, it'll just be an RP mayor. We don't have any kind of systems in place, but if we want to do an RP mayor, we could just do that. There's not going to be changing taxes or changing anything like that yet, but if you guys want that, we can get on that and we can do that. We can have a job called mayor, and then they can have certain things we can do. But we'll get into the logistics after. But if you guys are down with that, that's something we want to do. But it would be community voted. We could even make channels for it. They can post their videos. By the way, you guys post like videos you make in the city. That's like my favorite thing ever. When you do like little, like the stuff Jax makes, when people do that, like I love that shit. I'll gobble it up. More videos, please.
Dale does gobble it up.
I'll gobble all day, dude.
He's a gobbler.
I mean, never mind. I was gonna make a native joke, and for any of you who are aware, I am Native American, so I'm allowed. Okay. Strike system for vehicles. This is a touchy subject. Hold on to your booties. We've never really done the strike system for vehicles. We've like talked about it, but there's always been kind of some pushback from the community on it. And what I mean by strike system for vehicles is, say you own a car and you keep doing illegal stuff in it, you should lose that car. Like, not it just sits in impound. I mean, like, it is gone. You've lost that car now because police have seen that car multiple times and it's the same plate, and we just have to figure out the logistics of it on how we'll do it. But what do you guys think about the strike system for vehicles? I personally think we should have it. Look, strange. So we would come up with the ideas behind it, but this is more of just like do you guys think it's something you guys like that should be in? And I know most people be like, I don't like that, but like think of it before you just make a quick decision. You need to think of like fairness and consequences. Mm-hmm. Everything needs to have consequences. If you're doing something illegal, it needs to have a risk and it needs to have potential consequences.
Police auctions would be cool.
Also,
police auctions would be the shit.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just to kind of preface this, even though it's after whatever, well, there's more. To preface more things that we're going to talk about, including this idea, we're presenting an idea. We do not have a structure for these ideas yet. It's just something that we want to know how the community would feel about it. That way we don't just go and implement something and we get a bunch of feedback like, yo, this is fucking crazy. We want you guys to be included in decisions that we're making. But do know that we will take the time to flesh out what it looks like, how it works, why it's done, is it right, is it balanced, all of that kind of stuff.
I do like the idea of the auction. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think maybe we should just do like a react to my post with a Y or an N. Holy hell. Okay, that's solved.
Yeah, looks like we're doing a strike system.
Okay.
I think it's good.
I'll be the individual.
So now on to the next topic. Here's another one. Loss of business for repetitive crime and loss of business for inactivity.
Same exact thing. We're just trying to see if the community is down for that. We will work out the details later and share it.
So one thing that I would like to touch on is the loss of business for crime. And Q, you can touch on this when we were the AOD boys. If you're a criminal, you need to be secretive. You don't want to get caught. You don't want to get in trouble. Like, you're not going to do stupid things like get into a shootout with police and then drive back to your compound, things like that. Like, the whole purpose behind being a criminal is like, you don't want to get caught. You want to be secret. You're not going to do deals at your compound. You're going to try to be smart about it. And I think if you slip up on these things, there should be consequences. When we did AOD, we always were careful. Besides that one time we killed that dude at our compound. And
So
EMS
that's how I
showed up.
executed the dude right in the parking lot. And I was new and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So Van Fuji is essentially what happened there would be, but more of a structure behind it.
Yeah.
I did send denied. He's not here. I found a script that is a whole DOJ system, which allows you to do courts with specific, like, picked juries and all this cool stuff. So we could try to incorporate that on some things, but loss of business for crime. And another thing is inactivity. If you buy a business and now let's say we haven't seen you around in a week, whatever the time frame may be, we need to come to a decision of we pull the business from you and now put it back up for sale. But what I don't want people to worry about with that statement is, man, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. Or, man, I work for the military and I'm going to be gone for 4 weeks. Like, if that's the case, one, is there somebody that can run it while you're gone? And two, just send us a message. Because I don't want people to ever think that if they go on vacation or they have something else to do in real life that they're going to lose something for it. All it takes is transparency and letting us know. Or have somebody, hey, they're going to take my place until I get back. We will handle all of that. Just let us know. So don't be worried about losing anything because you're going to go see your parents in another state or whatever. Or you have to go somewhere for the military or whatever. But I think it does need to be a thing. What if when buying a business you can have a secondary backup it can fall to?
That would be your employees.
Yeah, employees.
I think the only bad thing about that is what would happen is if, like, for Ross, for example, and me and Sal are close in character, and so I put Sal as a second, so I can go do whatever I want. It falls back to Sal, and it's like he's just like, oh yeah, you're second command, and you still got to do everything. It's like there's ways around it. If you have a second, I think it would be cool, but that's what happens is like, oh, I'll just put my close friend a second, and then when I lose it, they get the business. I'll just still be basically the owner, and there's just the names on it now.
How will we let you know? You can open a ticket. Just open a ticket. Hey, I'm going out of town. I'm the owner of this. This is the day around when I'm going to be back. Done. Problem solved. Good to go. That's all you got to do. Just open a ticket in Discord. And like Strange is saying right now, 2 weeks of no communication or no business invoices gets a notification from staff. After 3 total weeks, Repo Man comes. So that's what we'll figure out is the logistics of of how it will work. But I just want to get the feelers out there that this is something that is going to happen. And for the people that do own certain businesses, and you have the little NPC outside that you can third eye how you bought them, I am going to be adding to that menu a way to sell the business back, to put it back up for sale. I just need to get around to coding it. What else? Do you guys have anything else you want to touch on?
I know Racket brought up the idea for a new type of DOA for our people that are doing the crimes. What do you think about that?
That reminded me of something too. Yes.
I can share it. Racket's idea was to have a new DOA in place for people that, for example, are running from a bank robbery and smash into a gas pump and are DOA'd, and having something like a DOA ICU where you die, you're sent to DOA from EMS or PD, but you're stuck in the hospital for 15 minutes in a hospital bed, kind of like you're at jail. So again, there's logistics that need to be made. I think with that, I don't think anybody wants to be stuck on a bed for 15 minutes with nothing to do. Whereas like jail, you have jobs and stuff that you can go around doing and still RP. So a DOA ICU type thing, I think is something we can definitely look at. Not a get out of jail free card.
And another thing that I've made suggestions, if you can read and talk about it, it'd be great. I'll definitely check it out. Thank you. And I love the suggestions people put. So you guys want to just go crazy with suggestions? We literally read them all the time, and you guys will. Any of you guys have seen we implement a lot of that stuff. Some of the stuff hasn't been implemented yet, but it's still something like on my list of things I want to do. To touch on the DOA thing, and this is something that I've been wanting to do since 1.0. It's just been such a pain. Is I want to do a death system. We had a script we thought would work out for the death system where it puts you in animation. No more of that sync bullshit. But it's very hard. I want to give EMS a lot more love in terms of scripting and cars and code. And when it comes to the scripts that are out there to purchase, there's like none. And if they do exist, I can almost guarantee if you send it to me, I've either A, already looked at it, or B, already bought it and it didn't work. What I'm starting to realize is we might need to just code one ourselves, which is a big task because there's a lot to do with like when someone dies and they go into an animation and now they can't go in their pockets, make sure they can't play an animation and to get out of it, make sure that there's a check for when you're down to be able to carry someone. Any other script in the city that does a dead check, we'd have to change it for this new thing. So it's a pain in the ass, but I do want to give EMS more love and more things that they can do. With the new MDT that police has, it also came with a EMS MDT. I need to look at it and go through it, but I'm sure you guys have. But I just want you to know that we do have EMS on the mind, and we do want there to be more for EMS, and hopefully we can get some stuff going for you guys. Let's see.
I would say EMS RP has been phenomenal though. For the ones that have been around, it's been so fucking great to RP with every single EMS I've came across.
Yes, Garrick's EMS character.
Oh my god!
When I'm interacting with him as Vinny, I can't even do the voice. I can't do Vinny's voice because I'm smiling so hard and laughing because it's so ridiculous. And I'll just spectate him while he's doing EMS stuff because I just want to laugh.
I think he scarred Theo for life. Oh man.
It's so
I couldn't stop
good.
laughing. It was so funny, but it's so hard to interact with just because I'm laughing the entire time.
Theo also, that character Theo is amazing. It's so funny. Like, I love that character. But yeah, we're kind of going off on the other idea. Let's see. Something I like to see for EMSRP is when people are down, if they could do med to help guide the interaction, med and do. In the
yes.
Yes, you can do / med to be like, my butt cheek is cut.
And this is something we've said before too. The rule is you're not allowed to talk when you're down. It's for those incidents when you're getting in gang fights and what people would be doing is like, yo, F you, you're a piece of shit, like doing that stuff. That's where the rule is you're not allowed to talk when you're down. Now, if you're like, oh, I got hit by a cougar, I got tapped by a cougar, and like you're given medical RP, I don't think any staff would ever have a problem with that. If you're trying to like help out push the medical RP, that would never be a problem.
Absolutely.
But if the problem is when the gangs and you're just mauling, that's what the rule for talking is down.
No,
yes, that's what the rule's for.
Yeah, you could go. If you want to be super creative with the EMS that have arrived and you're dead, like go for it. If you want to, you can go crazy. Just don't do anything that's like fail RP in the terms of like and pretend to be sleeping and be like, no, I wasn't down, I was sleeping, and trying to just get out of like being DOA or something like that. Like that's just, you know what I mean? Like that's power gaming. Like the EMS are not going to go along with that. I mean, I'm sure they would, but because they're good RPers, but don't do that. Like it's just to be able to like, convey being hurt or something or whatever, however you want to do it.
All of the times I've used like /me or /med, it's because I've been reminded by like EMS or Jordan in 1.0 that was even a thing.
So great,
right?
So
like
great.
That gets lost on me sometimes when I'm just laying there. I'm pretty silent while EMS does their thing, and then they pick me up. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it's like, honestly, when an EMS comes up and they hit me with a /med, then I'm like, that's right. Let me get in this with them. And they're checking my pulse, and I'm telling them what my pulse is. Like that helps out a ton.
Yes. Let's see what else.
The more you give to medical RP, the more you're gonna get out of it. You're gonna have so much fun with medical RP if you help them.
Correct. And I do want to. There is some EMS changes that I have an idea for, but I'll contact the higher. I'll just contact EMS. I'm not even going to leave it to the higher ups of EMS. I'll talk to you guys and girls and ungendered. Let's see. Oh, Funko Pops.
Funko Pops.
So we have the streamer stickers, and I'm sure a lot of people enjoy them. The thing that's hard to keep up on is sometimes we will make an item for somebody, and then they don't come around anymore. So it's kind of hard to stay on top of that if we're going to remove it, if we're going to re-add it. But we came up with a potential idea to add Funko Pops into the city that are like, there'll be one based off each staff member, and then there'll be like inside joke ones, like if you know, you know, community stuff. Could even
Non-toxic.
be non-toxic, just kind of funny little things. And then the way that we think we might be able to get around like the community stuff, we have a different idea for that, but I won't bring that up for now. Is look at that new Slater logo. I wonder who made it.
Wow.
Yo, you anybody needs streamer work? Hit me up. Hit me
This
up.
man trying to plug himself.
Get the plug. Listen to Cody Rain. Anyways, fucking A, I feel I'm so stupid. And then we're thinking about adding, and for those of you that are in 1.0, we want to bring back Pokemon cards.
Pokemon.
Like I'm pretty sure like just actual Pokemon cards again. But find a better way to do it rather than just like you collect them and then you get like a bike or a car or something, which is cool. But we realized like shit, there's only like there's only like, you know, a few things that are Pokemon themed that you can download and plug into a city. Pokemon on phone. Okay. I'm glad you brought up
Pokemon Go.
phone.
That'd be so funny.
Okay. I feel that I've gotten pretty decent at coding and learning things with code, and Madchild and Sai have been helping. If there is one thing that we as developers, as staff members, are completely horrible at, is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is what the phone is, which is what any of the UI is. We don't know how to do any of that yet. I'm telling you, if we could really learn HTML and CSS, you're gonna have so many new apps on the phone. The job menu would be on the phone. The boss menu would be in the phone. So we just got to take the time to learn it. And yeah, go ahead.
I'm actually going to school for it right now, so we're trying. Trust me. I'm just got to that part of my schooling, which I got school tonight for, and hopefully I can retain enough knowledge and show Dal it, because once you show Dal something, he'll figure out how to do it 100 times better than you can. So
no.
That's so cute.
Shit.
Jax is here?
Hey,
But we do have plans for more phone stuff for sure.
That might sound like me bullying Jax, but if you guys could hear the fucking trolling he does to us on a daily basis, it's amazing.
What?
Yo, fuck you, Slayer. I'm a terrible speller.
Yes, I will definitely look at. It's in suggestion chat. Here, I'll look at it right now. Why not? Where is it? Fireman job, opening the fire department and sending them like where a car gets blown up to an accident and pull them out of the car, stuff like that. It's funny you bring that up. Didn't we just talk about this? Didn't we just recently start talking? Somebody brought up to me fire department. Was it you, Sai, or was it Racket?
I believe it was Racket.
Yeah, so that is something we've thought about and is something that we would like to bring in, is some kind of fire department system. I actually do know there are scripts out there that have chances of like spawning fires, and you take a truck out and put them out and things like that. So I'm down for that. Yeah, fire department is usually a part of EMS, yes.
As long as the fire department's not going around spraying people down with the water hose from the truck.
Yeah, that's domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
That's so stupid, man.
Let
So-
it go.
Is there anything else staff wise that we need to touch on before I go to this next part?
I think we covered a lot. Basically
Okay.
everything.
So now this next section is optional. If anybody wants to head out now, you can. If you got other stuff to do, you want to get back in the city, that's fine. Staff included. But I can stick around, and if anybody wants to ask whoever stays questions, we'll do some Q&A. But we're not going to go crazy like it where we did in the past, where it's like a 5-hour community meeting. So if you do have questions, you can do the raise your hand feature in the audience, and we'll pull you up to ask a question real quick. But like I said, if you don't want to stick around for this, you feel free to leave. Up to you. Same with the staff.
Okay, Bonnie trying to plug her stuff already.
Yeah, how do they raise their hand? I can't remember. They right-click their name, and then there's like a thing where it like shows a little hand raise, like they want to ask something, and then I can invite them to speak.
If you actually click on the community meeting again itself, you can show request. If you can raise your hand that way, it actually would look like a huge black box like area.
Says it's disabled.
Oh,
It
okay.
shouldn't
Now
be.
it's enabled. It's enabled now.
All right, here's the first one. Invite to speak.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby. Put
What's
your
a-
hands.
Well, it's me from before. Hey,
How's
what
it
are the
going?
chances that the fire department will actually be opened?
It's all about time and making sure that scripts work, testing everything, and so there are some things that we're working on currently that we would have to get through with first, but after that, it's just about finding stuff, coding stuff, and testing it and bringing it in. So could be a week, could be a month, but it just depends on, it just depends on all those factors.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Who got next?
Nobody got questions?
Yo, who got next?
There's no way you guys don't have questions. Come on.
Usually we have a million questions.
Normally it's like insanity. Correct. Yeah, numbers and all that would take into
There we go.
consideration.
Put your hands up.
Uh-oh.
Put
I don't know
your
who was
ha-
first,
oh,
Porky. Oh, wait. No way. Hold up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's
Hold
what I
up.
said.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Hi guys.
This
How you
guy.
doing?
This
How
guy.
y'all living?
What's up, man?
No, I really like that mayor idea. That campaigning would be dope because that's good avenues. Because if you're not liked, you know what I mean. That's also a good setup for an assassination, which is also good for RP. So I was wondering how heavy are y'all on leaning towards that mayor idea? That was
Like
my question.
super.
Heavy.
I think
Yeah, it'd probably
I
be
think
something we bring
it's
in
just a matter of
tonight.
time.
Like just
Yeah.
set up the job and
Oh.
then set up the channels and let people start campaigning. And then
Campaigning throughout the city. Yeah.
while they're
I'm going to the
campaigning,
south side.
yeah, while they're campaigning, we'll work out the voting and all that. But yeah, that'd probably be something we can do tonight.
If
Get
you
the
got
agenda.
balls to fucking campaign in Southside, yeah, okay. Pow. Okay, hey, it's time to go. Yeah, but yeah,
But yeah,
that's
that is
just fun.
something we want to do like soon.
All right, awesome.
Yeah,
All right. Michigan.
Are you coming back or what?
Yeah, I am. I just don't want to come back right now. Shit, y'all.
Okay,
The gangs are from what I'm hearing, are kind of weak. You know what I mean? I don't want everybody jumping up on me and I'm on my feet on.
Damn.
Hey,
Been 1.0. Y'all.
Man,
I had the
the city
biggest target
changes
at
and
the
you don't,
beginning.
Big John. That's for sure, man.
Hey,
Let's
I
go,
wanted
dude.
I wanted to come back and
Let's go,
like
dude. Let's
people
shoot the
not
one.
remember me. You know what I mean?
As soon as you come back, I'm shooting you the first day. I'm letting you know right now.
God, Jesus. Oh yeah, it's not a party if I don't get shot. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I feel like 50
Or
Cent.
you It's not a party. It's not a real Big John party if you don't go on a 30-minute rant.
Oh yeah, you know me. I always on my soapbox. I got some more questions. Go ahead, get these boys. Get these.
Good to
kids.
see
Good
you,
to hear from
man.
you, brother.
I'll see you
Good.
guys
I miss
soon.
you guys. I had to hear Dow's voice.
Hey, miss you, man.
I'm fucking salivating right now. Okay. Yeah.
Come on up, Porky.
Okay.
What's up?
So I know some people will have this question. More guns. What's the word on that? And then clothing. What would be the word on that?
More guns and more clothing?
Yeah.
So I did update the PD EMS, that pack we had. We hadn't updated it since 1.0, so I did know there was changes there. As far as like new civ clothing, normal people clothing, clothing is something that is, we've said it before, it's very difficult. But another thing that we didn't realize in 2.0 when we brought that new clothing in is clothing can be very, 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 very intensive for the client. So head pops, glitches, slowdowns, things like that. One of the biggest issues in 2.0 of all those headaches and all those things ended up being the clothing pack we used. Like, I kept thinking it was MLOs. I kept thinking it was like bad scripts or too many cars. It ended up being the clothes, which was crazy. So I'm open to bring clothes in. I just need to find optimized packs and do them that way. So if I can find actual optimized packs, clothes that aren't like super crazy HD 10,000 item packs, I'm absolutely down for that. And in terms of guns, I'm open to bring new guns in. I don't know.
It has to be balanced.
I also don't know how. I was never the gun or car person. I can bring a car in. I just can't tune a car. Kenny did a lot of the gun stuff, and Fox did a lot of the gun stuff. I never did. So I can get with Kenny and Racket, get with him and see about bringing in more guns. But yeah, that would be the answer to those two.
I will say from a Crim and PD perspective, PD is going to see a lot more guns on the street pretty soon, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're worried about that, that is going to solve itself.
Oh, that's the other issue too that Strange brought up, that the clothing replaces items slots. Because you can only have so many item slots, and it will replace items. It's like almost impossible not to. No Pixel does. Yeah, they do. They have No Pixel's starting to sell assets, which is crazy. I mean, is it though?
Once they start selling scripts, it's going to be...
Bro, if they sell their phone, we're going to No Pixel Core. I don't care. We're going to No Pixel Core, and we're using that framework because their phone.
Dude, their phone uses
amazing.
everything. You do everything through their phone. It'd be so great.
You're talking about a city that it literally has people on payroll to create shit, you know?
Yeah.
Not saying, you know, it's...
Yeah, not Fiverr payroll either.
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
One of their devs is an ex AAA game developer. So,
yeah.
Dr. Disrespect.
Porky, did that answer your questions? Give you some insight. I will be looking into finding clothes and doing guns. So it is in the pipeline.
Yeah. So only thing I would suggest, like, I mean, custom guns is like something that no one needs to do. I mean, if you were to bring guns in, I think everyone here would be fine with GTA guns.
Even just bringing in some of the
Even just bring in more
the
GTA
other GTA guns. Okay, I'm down with that. Yeah, I think that'll probably be the first thing. Is we can in the dev server we'll balance out some of the GTA guns and bring some of those in. I'm down with that.
I would have said that earlier, but I got caught up. Someone walked in my room.
Oh, no, you're good.
Porky wants to be a chief with a musket. That's what Porky wants.
It's definitely something that we would have to test first.
You want to pop someone with a musket.
Well, because he did all the tunings on recoil and gun damage, so he would just have to do those guns, and then we can bring them in.
I remember me and Jax were fucking with some of the guns for something in the dev server before 3.0, and I was like a mile away from one tapping with some of the guns. It was insane.
Yeah.
And I was like hip fired, and we were like, "Oh my god, this gun is not good."
They're all crazy over tuned as stock. Every gun we have in the city has been adjusted, so it definitely would have to go through the process.
Oh, the thing I also forgot to bring up was the Funko Pop thing. If anybody in the community knows how to draw well and would like to draw some Funko Pops themed after characters, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM. Yeah, we'll talk. Let's see. Any other questions? Oh, we
Yeah,
got some more. I don't know who was first.
Shadow FME, and then Mr. Mendoza.
Oh, letting him go first. I like it. Okay. Bring you on up.
Yeah,
he
just
was
quick
first.
question. Is the casino going to be coming back at all?
Yes. Casino is something that we do want to bring back, but the way I want to do it this time was the last casino was like 4 different scripts that didn't communicate with each other. Something that I would like to do is like have like chips, and you can trade cash for chips, and then you have a balance of chips, and then you can use those on those other scripts. So in that's another thing, casino being owned, is we want that system to work with that. So it's essentially like it's a business, someone can own it, and then there's chips, there's money, there's loss, there's winnings, and it all talks together rather than it being slots by itself, blackjack by itself, the wheel by itself. I just have to find like gambling scripts that are not encrypted that I can edit myself to add in those currencies and then make a business out of it, etc. So yes, that is something we do want to bring back in.
All right, thank you.
The first thing will probably be back just so there can be some love to the casino is the wheel. We'll probably bring the wheel back here pretty soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on up, Garrick.
Oh. I have one question and one tangent. My question is,
You have a
hair.
changer on?
Oops, sorry.
And you're
There you go.
super crackly.
How crackly?
A 9.
Correctly.
A 9.
9.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll just be honest.
Let's get Strange up. What's up?
Yo, I was just wondering about the likelihood or timing of when we might get tattoo shops.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Today or tomorrow?
Sick. And then fishing?
Fishing has been it's been a whole thing. I'm working on fishing. It's a pain in the ass. Soon. I know fishing is a big thing. Fishing is one of my favorite things to do in any video game. So yeah, if I would really love to take that first one we had and fix it and make it work, because that one was awesome. So it's either going to be, I bought a fishing script. It's called Fishing Simulator. You can have different reels and baits and poles and strengths and fish finding device that you can use to see how many fish are underneath your boat, stuff like that. I need to make sure it works. The first test I did, when you pushed a button, it completely froze and you had to pop your head. So if that doesn't work, then I would get that old fishing script we used with like the whales and the sharks and the tier system and try to fix it and like make it my own, because I think that script hasn't been updated in 2 years.
Okay.
So
sounds
yes,
good. That's all I got.
it is a priority for me, at least, to bring into the city for sure.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
And tattoos, yes, you'll see.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, man.
He just wants his face tat back. That's what he wants.
Chill. Yo, chill.
Yeah, no face tattoos.
Is your face?
All right, let's see if Garrick's crackly still. Hello.
That's better.
Not really.
You're like an 8.
Is it still fucking up?
You sound like you have a
Yeah.
voice changer on. It's so bad.
I don't.
It sounds like you have like a robot voice changer on.
It sounds like one of your D&D voice changers.
What was the name of that robot from 1.0? Racket had a robot, the EMS combat medic. He's talking to a fan. Oh. Heard something.
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
Is that better?
Wait, you're a 0 now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're like a 0.
Hairstyles?
Yeah, so that would come with it when we do clothing stuff. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I have is more of a tangent.
Sure.
And it's not even about staff, so you get off easy on this one.
Yes.
So I've been back now for about a week, and the biggest issue that I've noticed running around amongst all the people is the RP is great. However, there are people that are so trying to be too over the top and gimmicky with their characters to the point that you are interrupting other people's scenes and RP to the point where you're more disruptive and causing issues than actually building to the scene. And I respect everyone for, trying their best and trying to go over the top and do something new and crazy, right? But make sure that you're not overstepping boundaries and interrupting people. I've had people drive into police chases. I've had people like there was a scene going on with downed suspects and even just a random civ, and people were trying to interrupt and come like bother. If you're doing that, right, you're first off, you're not valuing your own safety. You're walking into an active scene. And then if you're also following a police chase, you're now disrupting the entire flow of that police department. And you could crash. Actually, we had that happen earlier with Jax, where some guy was just driving up and wrecked into him while we were trying to train a cadet. Now that cadet's brand new, and he's going to think that those interactions are normal, and it's not. So anybody that tries to do something like that, like I said, I still appreciate if you trying to be creative. Just make sure you're not taking away from other people's fun.
I agree with that.
Also, we're still looking for group 2 of D&D. That's it. That's all I got.
Hey, don't bring that D&D shit in. Man.
I got to take from the player base.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just try to like judge the room, and just always try to be conscious of other people's RP while you're RPing. It's just a good thing to get into a habit of. Is just try not to do too much if it feels like, oh, I was able to do that to this guy. It's like, yeah, but that person didn't like it. So.
Right. Basically, it boils down to be respectful and have fun.
Yes. Thank you, Garrick.
Kind of piggybacking off that, do you want to mention, Dow, about maybe traffic stops and pursuits?
What about them?
I got it.
Like, okay, go
ahead. So what we've seen a lot, and this has been a thing for a really long time, is people get pulled over, and sure, the cops don't know who you are, what you're doing, what you just did, what you have on you, anything like that, right? But a lot of times what happens is the cop will pull somebody over, and they'll get out of the car, and when they get out of the car, the person that's pulled over just drives away. And either starts a chase or they're just gone. The cops will be like, "Oh, sick, that happened again. Cool, man. That's dope." Just like anything else, there should be interaction anytime that you're like around other people. You know what I mean? If you stop, if you pull over, like if you just want to run, I think we're okay with this. If you just want to run, just run. Don't pull over and like bait them out of their car, and you know what I mean? Because they're getting ready to do an interaction. They're getting ready to say something, think of something clever. You know what I mean? They're not really like they're trying to create something with you. Like the police are there to enhance the RP experience, and like you can get a lot of good shit out of just
Slater, raise your hand. I'll bring you up here to touch on this too.
you can get a lot out of the RP with the cops. You know what I mean? Now, also, like, we understand too that there could be RP situations where they're just going to run. So, I think what would be a good thing is, you know, at least have an interaction with the cop that's pulling you over, or run. Don't do the I'm gonna pull over and wait till he gets out of his car and then I'm gonna take off, because you're fucking power game is what you're doing. You're like you're literally like, you know what I mean? People that run from the cops in real life, like they just run. You know what I mean? Just make a decision and go with it, and don't waste time and effort that this cop's gonna put in. Because what'll happen too is, like, we run into a lot of stuff where the police get frustrated. Like, the police lose a lot. The police inherently are the punching bag of a GTA server, right? Like, that's the point of them to be, like, them being in there allows everybody else that's being a crim to do what they want to do. So we want police to fly in, and what they don't want is they don't want to chase the fucking stratum every time that they show up to a place, and they don't want to, every time they get out of their car for a traffic stop, just, oh, there he goes. Like, really, really put something into it. If you're gonna make them chase you, just make them chase you. Don't waste their time.
Cops want to RP too, and it's not just RPing on the radio as a cop. They want to RP as a cop to normal people.
The thing to remember is, I mean, cops do want to RP traffic stops, right? Like, they want to get out and they want to talk to the person, investigate why they were speeding or whatever, get out their citation book and pretend to write a ticket, all that. And they don't get to a lot because people just instantly take off. And it should make sense while you're taking off. Like, if you just blow a stop sign and a cop tries to pull you over to write you a ticket, like, you really shouldn't run for just running a stop sign.
Yeah, like strangest thing, running from police for no reason other than speeding is weak. Can y'all just call it fell RP? Seems like cop eating. So essentially, if you hadn't done a crime that warrants you to run like that, then you shouldn't be able to run, essentially, is what you're saying.
I think Matt also made a good point earlier. He said, like, if he did something illegal, he'll pull over and, like, he'll talk to the cop until the cop's like, hey, I need you to go ahead and step out of the car so I can search you or something. And then he takes off because he doesn't want to get searched, right? That makes a lot more sense. And there's still that interaction that led up to the investigation, then to the running. It wasn't just, I ran a stop sign and boom, I'm gone. Fuck y'all. It's.
I mean, even some of the funnest experiences I've had with cops have been traffic stops. With Donnie Smithson, I had a really fun one with Biggs the other day with Slater, where they just pulled me over for speeding, and then Slater's like, "What are you doing, dipshit?" Like, giving you a hard time, and then he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna let you go." But you get to have this little funny back and forth with somebody. You're missing out on a lot if you're just taking off on cops, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just think they're going to get their shit searched, which you have to understand that we're in a video game. So the element of PC is very, very hard to get, because you can't smell anything. You can't smell them. You can't see how they're acting. So, of course, I would say probably 90% of the time, if you're just pulled over for a minor traffic stop, it's not going to be, hell, they probably won't even give you a ticket. But there's an interaction there that people are just being lazy with. It just pulls off and goes about their business. And honestly, part of me wants to say, yeah, well, speeding is NVL. But, part of me wants to say that this is a video game, and we get it. But the only asshole that I know in the city that would do something like that, running 140 through the city, would be Dusty right there, old Beat Boop, because he's admitted to me that he's done it. So, I've always, ever since I started to really think about it, I was like, just slow down. Just everybody, slow down. I've even stopped driving like a maniac, because it's not good. You got to lead by example on things like that. And I get it, if you're running from some gang or whatever, it is what it is. But just give the officer the chance. Like, don't think you're going to get in trouble. Don't think you're going to get, just give them a chance and see how it goes.
Yeah, like if you get pulled over by Donnie, he's gonna
have fun.
It's gonna be pure RP for you. And I'm not saying Slater's not, but you know what I mean. Like, people do.
Well, I mean, Donnie's going to have him out on the ground. It's just get on the ground, put your nose on the concrete right now. But he's going to mess with you.
You're gonna suck at my finger for a breathalyzer.
When he says NVL for speeding, he's not talking like 52 and a 50. He's talking like 140 in a school zone, right? Like, there's no sense of I guess, fearing for your life when you're driving down Forum Street at 1,000 miles per hour.
I,
He's
I
not talking about just 52 and a 50.
It's
I mean, the
probably
big thing is
also
that
9 times out of 10, like you were probably only gonna get maybe a ticket. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
think they're gonna get like
Like a
immediately
$100
searched
fine.
or
You're-
like immediately think like, oh no, they know it's me that I just did that thing from 20 minutes ago. Like it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, I got pulled over the other day by Grove with everything, like 100 bags of crack on me. And I was like, holy shit. And I stopped, and I'm stuffing my glove box full of crack, and I'm talking to Grove, and I'm like, hey, man, yeah, no, go way too fast. You're robbing yourself of like a little bit of adrenaline sometimes too. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I got a lot of crack on
That's
me.
very true.
I think
You know what I mean? Like those are good interactions. Like those are the interactions that like, yo, when I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get caught, that's when the game gets good.
yeah,
I
and
think Racky yesterday was like roasting the whole car. There was like 4 of us in it last night, and he was just roasting everybody inside the car, and we were all like dying laughing.
oh, yeah, look what Racket just said. If you stop,
And
I'm
it
probably
took like
already
Cops
gonna
are
be-
really
took,
fun.
yeah, it was like a 5-10 minute interaction of him making us laugh and have a good time, and then he was like, "All right, get the fuck out of here." And we're like, "All right, cool, we got the fuck out." You know what I mean? Like you're missing out on a lot if you're really not stopping.
Yeah, I mean Okami. I think ain't that how you spell her name or say her name? Okami. I'm sorry, I'm a redneck, but it is what it is. Owner of the Uwu.
Mullet Trail.
Shut up. So I pulled her over yesterday, I think, and I think Spears was there too. But I pulled her over because she was just flying down through whatever road it was. But literally half of her car was destroyed. It was smoking. She's like, I'm trying to get to where I'm going. My car's about to die. And then I was like, well, just slow it down. What do you? I mean, is your rear end on fire? What's the deal? And she's like, no, I'm trying to get to my business. And she's like, oh, by the way, try this ramen real quick. And I was like, did you poison it? What's the deal? And she's like, no, I just want you to try it. And so she shoves that in my face. And of course, me being a fatty liked it. So she got to leave. I mean, it was good. I mean, it ain't got to be difficult, but some people want to make it that way. And I think sometimes people think that we're just bothering them, and I honestly think that some people just feel that way.
rather than an extension of the current like interaction in an RP that's happening. They think
Yes.
like, oh, they're trying to ruin it. Like, no, but they could be an addition to it.
Plus,
And,
to be
Yeah,
honest,
and
it sucks
will say
driving
the
around as a
jumps,
cop.
the jumps thing I've noticed has gotten kind of pretty bad. Everyone's doing insane jumps. We might.
Ooh, I'm
have-
ready for this one.
Hit it.
Okay. Is I erupt here? I erupt. Are you here? Hello?
He's not. He's
Oh,
not.
you motherfucker.
I knew you were gonna call him out.
Yeah, as
Okay,
soon as
look.
Jelson jumps, he left.
I think anybody that knows me from previous RP experiences, I love the chase. It's like the main reason why I continue to RP. I love running from the cops. I love chasing people. But, and this is the way I design the cars in the city and everything, or at least try to. The chase should be about your skill as a driver, not who can exploit the fuck out of weird game physic mechanics. Okay? So fucking 120 miles per hour into a fucking guardrail to pop yourself over and drop down from a fucking freeway overpass by about fucking 120 feet is not my idea of a chase. Now, everyone knows the little jump on upper power that leads to Legion Square. Shit like that, totally cool. So long as the jump is accessible to everybody, including the cops behind you, sure, fair game. Full sending it over a goddamn... I don't even know. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, if it looks like the jump is made to be jumpable and not one of those crazy jumps that, like, is supposed to get you some
over the fucking city.
Yeah, like some crazy high score in GTA Online that no one gives a fuck about. Then sure, go for it. But the chase should always be about the skill. I want you to out fucking drive me, not fucking out fucking mechanic me on some bullshit. You know what I mean? That's what it should really come down to. Like I can lose cops by just fucking making left turns half the time. because I know how to handle my car and not fucking let the back end spin out and not lose speed and pump the brakes at the right time and shit like that. That's all just skill related shit. You know what I mean? And that's what it should be about. Not like, oh, I fucking yeeted over a fucking guardrail and now I'm on the freeway fucking on the other side of the world. Like, oh my God, you gotta be fucking killing me. So, you have to, it's the same thing. It's the same situation that we're talking about with stopping for cops when they go to pull you over. Now, I understand why you should run in some cases, right? I don't want to like go back to that conversation, but it's the same premise. It's if all you're doing is trying to just, like, oh, I'm gonna wait for him to get out of his cop car and then I'm gonna fucking floor it. Nerd, get fucked. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Let me like run back to my fucking car real quick and realize that our cars are relatively the fucking same tune, and I'm probably never gonna catch you because you made 2 turns and you're gone. You know what I mean? Cool. Yeah, sweet. Thanks. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? And like,
you're trying to spam to unlock the car and you can't even
yeah,
get in it.
yeah. And it's like, even me as a criminal, like, why would I want to do that? Now I understand in some scenarios, you're like, I cannot get caught right now. Sure. But the problem is that happens a lot. And the same thing with chases. It's like, why not? The chase is an RP scenario as well. Yes, you should be able to lose the cops, but like, how are you doing it? And how is it benefiting the RP for both parties? And that's like what you always have to keep in mind is how is what you're doing, no matter what it is, even if you're trying to win, how does it benefit both parties? Even when you take a hostage. If you're not making it fun for your hostage, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, you owe that to the hostage. You're literally taking them away from whatever it is they decided to do for that day. And you need to make it fun for them. And there's some people out there that are really good at it, and if you're not and you're struggling with that kind of content, then, do your best, but at least try to make it fun for both parties. Chases, hostages, hell, even if you're just doing legal work and you're just moving shit around, when a cop pulls you over, all that, you just need to make sure that whatever you do, you're looking at it from both angles, both sides of the story. How am I making this fun for the person across from me? That's it. You do that, server like completely turns into this RP phenomenal gift basket of awesomeness. I'm done.
Hey, Kenny, right there it says nerf the stratum. What do you think about that?
Has anyone seen I want in chat right now, if you have seen a stratum in the city in the last 2 days, hit X.
Huh. Last 2 days, right?
Yeah, last 2 days. Do you okay? Hit F in chat if you feel like you see less of them in the last 2 days. Interesting. Okay, I'll take a look at that. So I'll tell you what I did. I don't normally put these in the change logs, but as you have probably noticed, the traffic on the streets keeps changing, right? You're seeing newer cars spawning in NPC traffic. In 3.0, we now have the ability to be able to change that. And so like when everyone was, if anytime anyone's just using one particular car, I'm going to probably look at that and either A, change the car if it's broken, or B, I'll just switch around what spawns in the world a little bit. I've done that to supers so that there are still supers, but they're very less common now. And I'm sure you've noticed that. So everyone went to the stratum, which yes, a long time ago in 1.0, I buffed the fuck out of the stratum because there needed to be a 4-door car that was stealable, that would perform well. But in 3.0, with the changes with the spawn stuff, there was just way too many stratums, which is weird. And I think that might have been a recent GTA change because the thing that I'm using is a default GTA file. And so what I did is I backed that out. There should be only one spawn for the stratum now in one particular place. So you have to go out of your way to get a stratum now. Whereas before, you'd be in Legion Square and they'd just be driving by.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure they don't do that anymore. I don't think you can find a stratum in the city.
Porky, I'll touch on what you said because you've said
Hint,
twice now. Is random circling at a crime scene. The way I look at that is it's onto the cops to control the scene at a crime scene. So in a sense, they're giving you an RP opportunity for you to enforce a law or try to do something to them. Where I think that's completely different than hitting a jump or, you know, waiting for you to get out of your car and then running. So I think that's up to the creativeness of the officer to figure out what they want to do with somebody doing that, because you do control the scene and you can arrest somebody for, you know, doing that if you told them to leave.
Yeah, I think I know what he was talking. I know there was one situation that I know he was probably talking about, and there was some little
It was the bank
dickhead
truck
that was.
one, right?
Yeah, it was the one where we
Yeah.
got Casper, the friendly bank robber or bank truck driver that was shooting back at everybody, and then the one dude that just wanted to be an asshole. And at that point, what do? You just run up to the vehicle and you know, Z menu, kick him out of the car, and then cuff him? You know, I mean, that's not. If it's excessive to that
I'm
point,
pulling
then
you
of course,
out.
you know, yeah. But I mean, you know, then they're going to cry or they're going to say, well, you know, it's going to be a dang. Well, he
Yeah,
did this.
I
Can a
remember
ticket
that
being made, you know?
situation because we were dealing with we had just become aware that that area is an issue for whatever reason that we're still trying to figure out, and so I was there on scene trying to like figure out how I can continue the RP for them as a dev to be able to like spawn something in and like make it worth their while. But I'm like sitting there trying to figure out, and then we got some dude in a white car that's like driving around and basically like I don't know, just just doing the trolley shit, just like keep going, antagonizing the scene and everything. And it wasn't like too bad, but like we've
Wait,
seen
were
this
they a
plenty
part
of
of the
times.
people that started the whole thing?
Not to our knowledge.
No, Ray was trying to kill him, so he wasn't involved.
So if that's the case, that's getting involved. That's getting involved in like an active police thing, and like that's almost
It's technically a rule break.
It's cop
yeah,
breaking,
it's technically a rule break. And I mean, sure, drive by, yell some shit, say some shit, whatever, do whatever, whatever. But like, try not to interrupt at RP on that scene, because once again, back to what I said is how is what you're doing going to be beneficial to both parties? Now, there are ways to be able to interject yourself in some way that will actually, be beneficial for both parties. But man, you need to be very fucking creative in order to be able to pull that off and not piss everybody off involved, right? So, and I mean, you have to have some fucking improv fucking skill and RP skill to be able to pull that off effectively. So you have to be very careful of that. If you pull it off, I'm okay with it. But if you're a troll, then I'm not okay with it, because you're ruining, the cops RP and you're ruining the criminals RP, and especially since I'm there trying to fucking deal with it. So you just got to be careful with what you do,
Well, I'll say that someone who's actually really good at that is Jax. I know we got in a chase the other day chasing the car, and we were kind of chasing Jax before that on the store robbery, and he like broke our ankles within like 2 turns. And then we started chasing somebody else, and all of a sudden I look behind me and Jax is in his car chasing us, chasing them. But he wasn't being a shithead about it. Like he wasn't pitting cops or nothing. He was just, everyone was kind of laughing at the scenario because it's like now he was like kind of passing us a little bit, and he's like, yo, pull the car over, like trying to tell the person we're chasing and stuff. That's probably a good scenario of like, okay, like you kind of interject yourself, but everyone's kind of laughing at it. He didn't like take it overboard, and then you see him pill off. Like, I would say that would be a good example of if you did interject yourself. He made sure everyone that was in it had a good time, and he didn't go overboard with it, and then he got the fuck out of there.
Right. And staff will break that rule often. I'm guilty of it as well. And, it's because we have like nothing to lose, so that we know that we can do a little interjection RP in order to like hopefully achieve that balance. But for anyone else that's like not staff, it's probably best not to do it. But if you can come up with something really good, fine. But you're probably going to be told very quickly whether or not you're being a fucking shitlord or not. You're going to be able to tell by the cops' interactions, even the Crims interactions and stuff. So if you get that little hint, nudge, nudge, you might as well just fucking back off and
Yeah, you
realize that
gotta-
maybe that RP thought was not the greatest idea, you know?
You gotta listen to people's tones and then know when to fuck off.
Even if it's Timmy, if I walk up and the cops are like, "Hey, you need to leave the area," Timmy just turns around and walks off. Like even he complies if he's.
You're like a 6 right now, bro.
Yeah, this ongoing joke's amazing.
I'm gonna take a minute to. I know he's not here anymore, but Lobo brought up boosting and
check.
changes. We did change it from clean money to dirty money, and that might not seem like it's worth it up front.
Check.
You're good.
Check. You're good. Dale, I'm not gonna give away too much, so if you want to go into more, be my guest. But there are ways a criminal can make dirty money more worth it at the end of the day, especially when it comes to washing.
Yes.
Basically, everything in the city except for Big Bank, somebody knows something about it. That's where we're at in the city. I know I provided like 2 updates of like, oh, this out of this many illegal things have been found. We're at the point right now where somebody in the city knows at least something about everything except for Big Bank. Not one person knows a damn thing about that, and it's fucking great.
Also, it's illegal, and that's why you get dirty.
Yes, it is illegal. That's why you
So,
get
I
dirty.
mean-
Yeah.
But it's again, there's a way for the payouts that you are getting for boosting for criminals to have it more worth it to them.
Yes.
Find out an RP.
And it's something that everybody has access to. It's not something that's gated behind someone else or they have to go to a person. You, right now, can do this. So, yeah.
Might take some time, but yeah, absolutely.
Chev has an idea for Big Bang.
What does Chev magically wind up in the back of Big Bang
Yeah,
Can or
crazy.
something?
Yeah, crazy. Just Chev was just in there.
That's funny.
bunch of hawks watching.
I'm good. I am gonna fly back in. Hour and a half.
I think I'm good here.
I think we're good. Obviously, DMs are opened. Please reach out.
Is there
if you
any more
guys-
hands up?
No, not that I
Also,
saw.
real quick, can we give a fucking shout out to the awesome videos that fucking Jax has been putting out?
Yeah, no
They're
kidding.
fucking amazing.
Fuck yeah. That shit. Legit.
Amazing.
Thank you.
All right. That's it. Yeah, DMs are open tickets if you need them. Yeah. Thanks everybody hanging out.
Hell yeah.
See you guys in the city. Go ahead and vote.
Yeah, go vote.
Oh.
All right. Thank everybody hang out in the stream. I am going to end the stream so we can have a post staff chat about everything. Get on the same page. And then I think I'm going to stream some Vinny Greco tonight. So here in like an hour or two, I'll boot up the stream and do some Vinny Greco. So I'll see you guys in a